Staying on schedule and covering season 3 of The Walking Dead. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead, a podcasting channel pretty much about The Walking Dead. We tried some other stuff, and it just didn't seem to work out like The Walking Dead podcast. So here we are talking about The Walking Dead again.
Everybody loves their zombies.
They do. They do. They always say everyone loves you more when you're gone, so maybe that has something to do with it.
I don't know.
But we're talking about
seems like a stretch.
We're talking about season 3, episode 4. It's called Killer Within. It was directed by Guy Ferlin and written by Sang-Hyu Kim. And if you are new to this channel, this is a segment we're doing where we're going back and completely starting over with the series. I've already seen it like 1,000 times. Jessi is just watching it for the first time, so you know, she has no clue what's going to happen, and I'm trying my damnedest not to spoil anything, even though I do terribly at it at times. But
yeah,
look, I try. But so it's just fun to get a fresh perspective on it, especially as the show is getting ready to enter in the last few episodes. Before we start, please go to the description of this podcast and check out our affiliate link, moviepalette.com. They take all of your favorite movies. They take the color palettes from like the actual film itself and create these really cool pieces of art. If you go there and you buy something, use the code podcast15 and you'll get 15% off, and it helps the channel out tremendously. Go check them out. We're going to have a little review and unboxing here soon, I promise. I just got to find time. But anyways, Jessi, I told you this was a pretty traumatizing episode. What did you think?
Oh my God. Well, it was very traumatizing. No zombie babies.
Jessi's daughter and my daughter are in the same dance class. So Jessi was watching the episode tonight on her phone. And I knew exactly when you were getting to the Lori death part because you looked like you wanted to cry.
My ears were wet.
Your ears? Jessi, if you're crying out of your ears, we've talked about this before, you need to go see someone.
That's how traumatizing it was. It made me cry out my ears. No, I was fighting the tears, like fighting them.
I bet it was even though Lori had gotten on mostly everyone's shit list by this point in the podcast, it was, at this point in the show, it was still so sad the way they did that.
Yeah. And plus, like, I think it really got me because Carl was there and he had to see it. Also, it's just like the fact that Maggie had to do all that and she was not prepared. And like, can you imagine?
Oh, it'd be horrible.
No.
Imagine being put in that situation. It would just be horrible. And then he had to shoot his mom in the head to make sure she didn't come back.
Talk about traumatizing. He's never going to come back from that. And poor Rick. Oh, man. The whole thing was just chaotic.
And sad. And it just all goes to show that, like, Rick thought he had killed that little Kevin Hart knockoff, the great value Kevin Hart there. And he just assumed he was dead, but he wasn't. And because he did not actually follow through with killing him, look what happened.
Well, how in the world did that guy not die?
It definitely seemed like he did, and the screams he had were definitely like the screams of someone dying, but I guess that was just to mislead us, because I'm sure I would scream quite the same way if I thought I was trapped with a bunch of zombies.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, we see him in the beginning laying out the deer carcass and like the heart and all these, leading all of the zombies there to where they eventually overrun the prison. And we lost several characters this episode. What about our boy T-Dog? That was so sad. Man.
I cannot imagine him going out any other way. He's such a good dude.
He did die a hero.
He did. And I know they think Carol's dead, but I don't think she's dead.
So you think Carol survived somehow?
I think she did.
She definitely could have. That's true. If you don't see their body, you don't know that they're dead.
It's funny because the whole time I'm like, why is she wearing this stupid scarf on her head out of nowhere? But it was because they needed something to leave behind to make it look like they had got her.
Or they may find her later. Dead.
They might.
Dead.
Still.
And eaten.
She did not die.
Zombie Carol.
I'm going to tell you how I know, because you spoiled it.
How did I spoil it?
Because you said that she looks good once her hair grows out a little bit.
When did I say that?
Like at the very beginning, because I said I liked her hair, and you were like, eh.
Well, it did technically grow out a little bit from the first episode to now.
Okay, well, she might be dead. I don't know.
She could be. But
and I still think that even though the baby did not come out a zombie, I still think the baby's going to turn into a zombie, because how are they going to feed it?
They can find, like that powdered baby formula can last for a long, long time.
Where are they going to get that at?
I mean, the world is their oyster. I mean, everybody's dead and gone. People aren't exactly lining up. And I doubt during the panic and the looting that was on the top of people's priority list. People get very simple when it comes to like looting in catastrophes like this. Like they loot sensible things like food and ammo and guns and water and Air Jordans, stuff like that. Shoes and TVs, not baby formula. I don't think baby formula is at the top of their list.
I mean, unless they have a baby.
That whole thing, though, I remember it being so sad when it flashed as she was like getting ready to die, to the whole like Rick telling him, "I'm gonna die. Your mom's gonna die."
Oh yeah. Ooh, I just got chills.
I did too, man. A little soft piano makes everything so much sadder. When there's like a soft piano playing in the background, it's like,
yeah.
It could just be something simple, like I came home and I took my dog out, and if you start hearing soft piano, you're like, oh God, something. The dog didn't come back in.
It's something about flashbacks too. They always get me when it's like it ties it all together. I was,
yep.
Geez, and the gun, and he handed him the gun and was like, he says something like tough decisions are going to be made or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, no more kids stuff.
No.
Yeah, it was very sad. He as much as Lori had gotten on a lot of people's bad side, it still was very sad to see her go, and very unexpected. I remember like watching that episode when it aired and like just thinking like there's no way Lori's gonna die, like, and then T-Dog, I figured that T-Dog was an easy pick, honestly, from a writing standpoint, of like a character people like and a character that you don't mind killing off just for some dramatic effect. So T-Dog didn't really surprise me, but the Lori one blew my mind. I don't think anybody at that point was expecting, especially because that is not how she died in the comics. In the comics, I won't say who or what or where, but in the comics, there's a big battle going on at the prison, and Lori has the baby, and she's running, and someone shoots her, and she falls and dead and crushes the baby when she falls. So that's...
Did the governor shoot her?
I can't tell you who shot her. Actually, no, it was not the governor. But so a lot of people did not see that coming. Like, we thought she might get the comic death, and then when that happened, we were all just like, what? And then
I thought she was gonna die.
Poor Herschel like finally gets outside after almost dying, and then it's just like, oh, welcome outside. Oh, we're being invaded by zombies.
Got to learn how to walk on or run on this one leg right now. I
like that he got to use that crutch as a weapon, though.
Oh, me too, because I thought for sure, I thought he was going down.
Oh yeah, but not old Herschel. He's a tough old bird.
He's a turd.
He's a turd. That old Herschel. I'm sleepy. You got to bear with me. We flashed back to Woodbury some, and we see that Michonne. We already know she doesn't trust Easy, but we kind of see why. Like, it's like she doesn't trust the governor, and she's starting to learn that she might be onto something. She's examining the tank and the things that came back from that military, ambush, and more or less in a very passive aggressive way, letting the governor know, like, I know that you're not who you say you are.
Mm-hmm. I love that about her, because I think that she knows that. Sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. I think that she knows that he could easily kill her. She doesn't have her weapon, and she already knows he's no good, but she's still letting him know.
Don't sleep on my girl Michonne. She might. She don't let her. I mean, she can throw down. She's You know, I like that about her too, and the fact, and that's the thing about Michonne, man. Her character, she doesn't take shit from anyone, man, woman, don't matter. She ain't taking shit from nobody. She's a badass. She's extremely intelligent. Michonne is just one of my all-time favorite characters in the show. Like, I just absolutely love her from pretty much from the first moment she was on screen.
Yeah.
I loved her because Denai Guerrero plays her so freaking awesome. And like when you read the comics, Michonne was an awesome comic character. So it was like when they announced back in the day that she had been cast, it was like, okay, I didn't know, much about her before that. And it was like, whoever they cast better be like freaking awesome, because that's a big role to take on. And I mean, she nailed it. Probably made it better than the comics, to be honest with you.
Well, she's definitely one of my new favorites.
Absolutely. And we see the Merle, and Merle's asking Andrea, why didn't we ever hook up?
He's so cringy.
Because you called me a whore. Actually, on the first episode, he called her sugar tits.
I feel like Andrea be giving everybody the eyes.
She's giving everybody eyes.
Not the ass, eyes.
I mean, she might be throwing some ass out there, too. You don't know.
She looked like she'd be trying. She looked like she was going to do it to the governor. And she just always looks like she's flirting with everybody. I hate it. Because, nobody likes you. Just go on.
And it's like, Michonne, who has gotten her to this point, like she was dying. And I mean, yes, thanks to Woodbury and their medicine, she's better. But Michonne has kept her alive during times she certainly would be dead. And Michonne's trying to tell her, like, we really should get our shit and we should get on the road and go. Yeah. And of course, Andrea's like, no, I think we should stay a little longer. And it's like, just listen to your girl. Her instincts are always on. I know she said something about I hardly know you, whatever, but her instincts have kept you alive. Just follow them again.
Yeah. There's that one scene where they're like in a bedroom, I think, and this one, Andrea is trying to tell Michonne that she wants to stay for 1 or 2 more days, and Michonne says something about not doing that. I don't remember what she said. And then Andrea's like, it's just a couple of days. Like the way she said it is so whiny.
Shut up, Andrea. Just shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
she's so stupid.
Yeah, the season 3, man, it's gonna get wild. You're gonna have more deaths. You're gonna, great value version. Kevin Hart is now dead, going back to the prison. I like that Oscar made his choice. When he gets Rick's gun, and then great value Kevin Hart's like, shoot him, man. We can take back this prison. Shoot him. And then Oscar, boom, shoots him in the head. I think at this point, Oscar's realized that, these people in the prison aren't bad people. Whereas this guy just caused massive death. Yeah. When the only death they've caused is the one guy that tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, Tomas is the only one they've killed. They've been hard asses, but they hadn't hurt anybody other than Tomas and what they thought was Dollar General Kevin Hart, because, the only people that had attacked them. Do you think that now Oscar's built some trust with Rick? I mean, that was a big move. He could have easily just took Rick out and took the prison, but then he gave him his gun back.
Yeah, I do think so. I think 100%. And I'm glad. I think he's going to be part of the group now. Wait, did they really just kill off the one black dude in the group and replace it with another black dude? Come on. What are you doing?
I think they did.
That's real messed up. Why they do that?
I really wish they wouldn't have killed T-Dog, though. I mean, and I will say, yes, his death was great. It was memorable, and he went out like a hero. To be honest, I wouldn't have wanted him to go out any other way. I would just have rathered him went out that way like a few seasons later.
I know, but
those deaths are what we love about the show. Just the unpredictability and knowing that, and they're not as good about it later on, but at this point, they're really good at making you think someone's probably in it for the long haul, and then,
Yeah. I know I predicted that Lori would die soon, I don't think I actually really thought that.
Oh yeah, you were just throwing out predictions because I was basically asking you like, who do you think's gonna die?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever really thought Lori was gonna die like that and that
was
soon.
Wild. That was wild. And dude, like when Maggie walked out with the baby and was like, and saw Rick, and the way Maggie was like choking back tears, I almost cried then too. Like I can't watch someone do that without crying.
That was some really good acting from Lauren Cohen too.
Yeah. And then Rick, oh my, the way he looked at Carl, he's like, no,
no. Yep. And then just
so
collapses
sad.
on the ground.
It's so heartbreaking.
I mean, now he lost his woman and he's got to raise another man's baby.
Is it another man's baby?
I think we all think that that's Shane's baby. I mean, like I said,
that baby did come out a little dark.
I don't think they have too many paternity tests. But a lot of babies come out dark, though. My daughter came out a lot darker complected than she is now. Like, we thought, man, she's like going to have a permanent tan. Good for her. And then, like, she's adorable now, but she's a little pasty. Your daughter, on the other hand, has like a year-round tan.
She came out really dark, too, but she kept her darkness.
Your daughter stole my daughter's darkness. That's what it was. The first time they met,
they're yin and yang.
She was like, give me your darkness. Now I will be tan forever.
You gotta have the dark with the light.
And you will be allergic to the sun. Which Allie don't burn too bad. But no, this episode, this is one of those episodes truly, like, I think when you get caught up, I think still when you look back and think about like the good old days of The Walking Dead, this episode will definitely be one that stands out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this was really, truly, we kind of got it with Dale. We've had instances where it was like, okay, this show ain't effing around. But I really feel like this was the episode where like the show was straight up putting its foot down and being like, nobody is safe and we're not effing around.
This was a rough one.
And then she has to. So what? All right, tell me this. You're a woman and you've had 2 babies.
Yeah.
So if a baby breaches, I guess, is that what it's called when they turn around and they have to do a C-section?
Yeah.
So can they just not get the baby out that way at all?
They can. No, they can. It'll come out that way for sure. The only reason they don't do it now is because it usually causes like brain damage because they lose like a little bit of oxygen because I guess their head can get stuck, like their neck can get stuck or something. It's just harder to pull them out, and a lot of times it causes issues. So I don't think that the baby was breached. Like I don't know when she was like, no, I know what it means and we have to do a C-section. I don't know what she knows that it means. Like I don't know what it means.
Isn't that somewhat true to how like episode before last, I think. I think it was episode 4 last when Carol said that Lori's had to have a C-section with Carl, she's probably going to have to have another one. Isn't that kind of true? Like, do girls have like I know several girls. Like there was a friend of mine in another town, and she's had 3 kids, and all 3 were C-section.
I mean, you can definitely have it vaginally after you have a C-section, but if it's not the zombie apocalypse and you're going to the doctor regularly, they're going to suggest that you have another C-section, but it's not impossible. You can definitely do it. I don't know what was wrong. I mean, she was bleeding a lot. I don't understand what was going on.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think. We really do. Like, it's crazy to think just how far we've come in humanity, because childbirth a lot of times could be a death sentence to a woman.
Oh yeah.
Back before we had modern medicine and the medical knowledge that we do now. Like a couple hundred years ago, I mean, when you got pregnant, there was like a decent chance that there were going to be complications and you were not going to make it.
Yeah. Isn't that scary?
And now that those are minor things. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to do a C-section. We got this, no worries.
And then the zombie apocalypse happened, and it was just back to square one.
It's like Lori's having the baby. It's like, shit. Why couldn't I have banged Shane earlier? Well, she was going to have his kid if she could have had it before the apocalypse.
Jeez. I don't know. I just like now they have a one-legged man and a baby.
That sounds like a rad punk rock band. One-legged man and the baby.
Yeah.
Well, like either that or it sounds like a Mumford and Sons song, The One-Legged Man and the Baby. Oh, but yeah, they do. You got to think too, man. Thank God they're in the prison right now. I mean, Herschel has got to learn to walk, without that foot. They've got a baby, which is basically a dinner bell if you take it outside of those fences, because it's going to cry. It's the only way babies know how to communicate that they're unhappy about something. They don't know how to tell you, yo, hey, I'm hungry. So, it really is fortunate that they are in the prison at this current time, for sure. Because if this would have happened on the road, who knows?
No chance.
And it makes me wonder, like, Lori was at the, at the end of her pregnancy, but I wonder if she would have lasted a little longer of the stress, because stress can send you into labor, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder if she, if this wouldn't have happened, if she would have went a little bit longer before she actually gave birth.
It's possible.
I don't
know.
How do you think this is going to affect Carl going forward?
Oh, God.
I mean, like, he watched his mom basically die, and then he had to put a bullet in his own mother's head.
I don't think he has a chance at happiness now. It was a slim chance before, but now there's like 0%.
And now, like, you kind of feel bad when if he gets on your nerves at any points, because you're like, oh, he lost his mom. He's kind of being a little shit, but he lost his mom.
He just, that poor kid. He had a lot going on already.
He did. He's got things and stuff that he's dealing with.
Let me tell you, ever since you like pointed that out, I've been saying it about everything.
Jessi, what are you doing tonight? Things and stuff. But yeah,
pretty much.
This was out because I told Jessi. So tonight when she was watching it in the dance studio, I told her, I was like, that you probably shouldn't watch that here. Like that, it's a doozy of an episode. Like you probably should watch that somewhere else. She's like, whatever. And then we'll look over at her and it looks like she is fighting back tears so hard. And I'm like, yep, Lori just died.
And normally if I'm like in public, I'm okay. Like I won't cry about anything. And so I thought I'd be okay.
I think that's actually what you said. You were like, I don't cry in public. Just
I was like, I'm glad I'm here. I'm not going to cry here. Cause it was like people around, but my body had other ideas.
That's what I say when I drink. I was planning to do blah, 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 but my body had other ideas.
I wasn't planning on crying, but...
I wasn't planning on throwing up, but my body had other ideas.
My body just can't handle my liquor.
I actually don't throw up often. I just fall asleep. That's my...
I rarely throw up.
My drunk thing is that I repeat myself. So I'll tell you the same thing 1,000 times.
Oh.
And I know that I'm doing it, but I think in my drunken state, I feel like I'm wording it slightly different each time. So in my drunken state, I think I convince myself I'm reiterating a point, even though this is like the 12th time I brought it up.
Well, that's not the worst thing, the worst drunk quality. That's
I like to think, I'm not saying that I'm not annoying, but I like to think I'm a decent drunk because I tell you I love you 1,000 times. I'll tell you how much you mean to me. And then I will tell you that or a variation of it about 12 more times. And then at some point, I'm just going to go to sleep. Like, that's my drunk thing. I'm not saying I never throw up. It's a very, very rare thing for me to throw up from being drunk because normally I stop myself before I get to that point. But my biggest crime is I will just go find somewhere, lay down, and pass out.
I do the same thing. I get funny. I mean, I don't get funny. I laugh a lot when I'm drunk. like I'm high or something, but I'm just drunk.
You do laugh a lot when you're drunk because it only takes like one or two. So there's been plenty of times where you're like, I'm going to come over and play a game. And then like 1.5 beers later, you're like geeking out over everything. It's like, I'm feeling damn good.
Mm-hmm. And the last time I threw up from being drunk, I threw up in my own van in the back.
God, that's grody.
But it was because I was in the back of the van. I get car sick anyway, so I'm blaming it on that.
Yeah, well, before we go back to The Walking Dead, one more drunk story. We took a friend out this like last year for her 30th birthday, and we rented like the carry service where they'll drive you, wherever and all of that. And we were up in the mountains at all these breweries. Like we went to Bold Rock?
Bold Rock.
We went to Bold Rock. We went to one called like Blue. It's not Blue Moon. It was Blue something. Then we went to one called Silverback. So we hit a bunch of those. And then on the way back, she had gotten wasted. On the way back, like we're going down the mountain and we're taking these sharp turns and ups and downs. And I remember saying like, she's going to get sick. Like, there's just I would be sick if I was intoxicated right now. And sure enough, we had to pull over. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that would make me sick anyway. I wouldn't throw up, but I would get nauseous.
But so, things to take away from this episode. How do you think that Lori's death is going to affect Rick? Because you talking about Carl, yes, it's certainly traumatizing for a kid to go through that. But imagine Rick's position of like, she's there, but y'all have not been getting along. Right before the end, she clearly was making efforts to try and make things better and make them right. You were being the stubborn one, you were the one kind of refusing to make amends, and now she's just gone.
I think that Rick and Carl are both going to be very bitter. I don't know. But then you got to think about the baby. Is Carl going to take care of the baby, or is like somebody else going to do that, like a woman? I don't know. I feel like everybody's just going to get so calloused by the end of this.
Well, fortunately, there is it's a big group of both men and women who would be willing to help out. You've got Maggie. You've got who else? You got not Amy. You've got Maggie. You've got her little sister Beth. You got the one-legged wonder, Herschel himself. You got Daryl. I mean, there are a few less of them now, but there are, there's a group of people that will help.
Okay. Yeah. You froze up there for a second.
You did too.
Well, yeah, it happens.
It does.
I don't know. Jeez. I still think Herschel's going to die, and I think this baby's going to die too, and it turn into a little zombie baby.
You just want a zombie baby, some kind of bad, don't you?
I do.
Oh, maybe it happens.
I just want to see it.
I mean, I will tell you, you'll see zombie kids in this show, but zombie infants, that would be wild.
Are you trying to be
misleading?
Inconspicuous?
Maybe. I don't like it when you use them big words. I don't know what they mean.
All right, Daryl.
I don't like them big words, Rick.
Just leave me be.
Just leave me be. Pocket sand.
Dude, I cannot believe I didn't say this on the last podcast, but God damn it, Bobby.
No, it would be Rick would be Hank, and when Daryl messes up, he's like, pocket sand. God damn it, Daryl. But no. So we know Woodbury's getting a little more tense. Michonne is on to the governor. She's not buying his BS. The governor, without giving anything away, I think you can take away. The governor is not the type of guy that's going to let someone try to, outsmart him, let someone try to out him. You know what I mean? Like the governor's you know, to his credit, he's got some good intuition as well. You know, it's like, you know, you can kind of tell right there, like he kind of has a sense that like Michonne is on to him.
Yeah. Also, the whole conversation that him and Merle had about Merle wanted to go look for Daryl, and like the governor was not about that life. And then the governor finally was like, "Look, I'll go with you." In my head, I'm like, he's gonna go with him and kill him.
And kill Merle?
Yeah.
But why would he want to do that? Merle's like one of his top lieutenants. And Merle gets things done.
But he wants to leave.
Yeah. Which at some point, it's like you've said, man, like there aren't that many people left. You got to stop killing each other.
Yeah. I mean, good guys too. Like, come on.
I mean, if you're not a psychotic, you know, piece of shit, you would think like, yeah, this person wants to leave our group. That sucks. But there's always a chance they may come back and they could be an asset to the group again. Not you're either with me or I kill you. Like that's just stupid. Especially if you leave on good terms. You know Merle respects you. You know Merle looks up to you. If you leave on good terms, hell, he might bring his brother and try to come back. And now you've got two more capable people.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to figure out, like, why. I can understand why he doesn't want Merle to leave because he is an asset to the group. But, like, why is the only option for you to go with him?
Yeah, and I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think the governor is saying that in a way of like, you know, I'll go with him, but then I'll kill him. I think it was just reaffirming to Merle that, like, I'll make this happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like if your kid's like, I want to play outside, and you're like, not right now. And then they're like, but I really want to go outside. And you're like, look, I tell you what, if you will give me like an hour, I'll go outside and play with you. Type, you know what I'm saying?
I guess, but I just don't like. I just feel like he's always up to something malicious.
And that could be. We're going to start learning a lot about the governor here in the next few episodes. Do you think that we're going to see Woodbury and the prison collide at any point this season?
Yeah, I do.
How do you think that's going to come about? Any predictions?
Merle looking for Daryl, and he's going to find him. But that map that Andrea gave, why would she give him the map to the farm if she knows that everybody left the farm?
I think she said something like that, though. Like there was a long shot. That's just the last place she had seen him. So I guess the thought was like Merle could go there and then try to find clues as to where he might be. Or who knows, maybe they left for a little while. Because that's the thing, too. There's a lot of zombies, but, you know, I feel like they were on the road for months. Like, at any point, did anybody circle back just to check and see if maybe they'd cleared? Because we see clearly they migrate, you know. They go, you know, they know that from their experience on the road. So I always wondered if at any point if anyone decided to just circle back and... You know, I'll tell you now before we wrap this up, because I was thinking about it and I think it would be so freaking cool. And I don't think they're going to do it. This was not my original idea. Somebody commented this on a Walking Dead video I saw years ago, but they were like the perfect way to end The Walking Dead. Like just the last shot of the entire show would be to have like a crow eating on like a corpse or something. And then the crow flies up. Then you have like the camera angle looking down at the crow flying with it. And the crow is just, as it's flying and like music's playing and it's fading, the crow's flying over all the locations throughout the show. So like, because the show has like famous locations, you know, like the prison and Herschel's farm and Woodbury and all of that. Like it just genuinely flies over and you're just seeing like the ruins of these places where the kind of showing where the show came from.
Yeah.
And then
I just got chills.
Me too. And then like the crow could end by like landing on the top of the hospital Rick woke up at, or, you know, something like that. I think that would just be so sick. Or, which that would be a super long shot. But, you know, the beginning of the show shows those two crows, like a crow eating on something before the wild police chase happens or whatever. Like it lands like right there in the road. And in the background, you can see like that car, or what's left of it after all these years, just still sitting there, which that wouldn't happen because the cops probably towed it away. But it just would be dope. I would end it with the crow landing on the hospital and then panning out and just be in the hospital, you know, like where Rick woke up. I think it would be so awesome.
That would be crazy. That'd be so cool.
It's just like, I always think, if you've never watched 6 Feet Under, have you?
I don't know.
It came on HBO many, many years ago. It's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, it was a show?
Yeah, it was so good. But it came on way back, early 2000s. But it's one of my favorite shows of all time. And it has, without a doubt, I'll argue anybody, I don't care. It has the best series finale of any show ever, like the most perfect ending to a show. And then it's got this, you know, the artist Sia?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was back long before she was as known as she is now. Back then, she was really, I think, just writing music for other artists and occasionally had her own stuff. I'm not sure. But she has a song that is just, it's like heavy piano and like just like this, I don't know, it's just this emotional music playing. It's like, so I just imagine that they could get a score like that where it's just like this deep emotional music as the crow's flying over all these like old locations. It would just, it'd be so good.
That'd be so cool.
But I got a feeling the ending's going to be stupid.
Aw.
I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I still love The Walking Dead, but Game of Thrones has it's going to take a while for a show to get back my trust after what Game of Thrones did to us. But anyway, so now's the time where we rate the episode. Keep your hands where I cannot see them. And then when I say go, pull it up and show me what you got. Go. I never said go, did I? I just pulled my hand
You
up.
pulled your hand up, so I was like, all right.
We both gave it 5 out of 5. Yes.
Yeah. I would give it more, though.
This episode totally deserves top score. It is one of the most memorable episodes in the history of the show, in my opinion. It is something that we, as Walking Dead fans, still talk about to this day. And as we see from you, people that just are getting into the show, it still shocks people as much as it ever did, you know, so.
Yeah.
Especially to take a character that a lot of people were not a fan of and then make you very sad at her death is also saying something.
That's true. How'd they do that?
They're magical.
They are.
And I didn't say it in the beginning. Sometimes I do forget because I do like to throw these in there just to let you know this episode originally aired November 4th of 2012. So like a month and a few days away from being 10 years ago. Wow.
That's crazy. What is today?
Like,
I mean, never mind.
So don't forget, if you're new to the channel, to please subscribe, like, and please comment. It helps feed the algorithm gods on YouTube and helps to get our videos and podcasts out more. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on Monday as we review episode 5. So I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. Thanks so much. Don't forget to check out Movie Palette. They rock. They support the channel. You should go see them, like right now. Leave this video and go to moviepalette.com.
That's so cool.
You're going to Movie Palette. Bye.